I know what you've been buying. I know what you've been spending your money on. Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you're doing well. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at 3 of the biggest fragrance discounter websites, taking a look at the best sellers, and giving you my thoughts on your current buying habits. Don't lie to me. I know that you guys are the ones buying these fragrances because you guys are smart. And so you shop at discounters. You don't shop at full retail unless you absolutely have to, right? You back there? So yeah, 3 of the biggest fragrance discounters, the top 10 best sellers. Let's jump into it. Let's see what's popping right now. Guys, I'll have links in the description to each one of these websites that I talk about. Actually, the bestseller pages, I'll just link you to those. Also, keep in mind that this is how it was when I filmed the video. If you watch this in the future, guess what? It's probably changed. First off, let's take a look at Jomashop.com. By the way, if you shop at Jomashop, use the code GENTS8. Save yourself $8 off any order over $110. What could be selling at Jomashop? Let's see. I'll just take a look at the top 10. So what I've done is I've gone to men's colognes. I've sorted by bestsellers. That's what we're looking at. Number 10, Adidas Ice Dive. What? It's $6. That explains it. So my guess here is that a lot of you out there are just ordering stuff and you see Ice Dive and you go, hey, $6, whatever, screw it. And you just throw it in there. It's basically like a purchase that you make as you're checking out at a grocery store or department store or something. They have those impulse buy items right at the register and you guys are getting distracted. You're just like, well, I'll go ahead and check out. What? What's that? I'll add that. And the store just looks at you and goes, got another one. So yeah, Ice Dive. Number 9, Explorer. That makes sense. Really popular. Smells like Creed Aventus to an extent. $51 for 100 mils. I guess that price is okay. Feels like it's a little high. Maybe the price has gone up on Explorer. Still though, really versatile. People love that one. So makes sense. Number 8, Sauvage Eau de Parfum. Not a surprise. Dior Sauvage, pretty much the best-selling fragrance line on the market nowadays. So yeah, like I said, not a surprise to see that one. Not much to say about it. Big time compliment puller, very versatile. You know. After that one, Lattafa Taltat Al Arabia Royal Blends. So this one is $15. That is cheap. That's cheap as dirt. Not as cheap as Adidas. So this one I have pulled up here and I actually hadn't heard of this one. I've been buying more Lattafa fragrances, but this one I was not aware of. Apparently it's getting popular on TikTok. Have you guys been watching fragrance TikTok videos? Have you been doing that? It's time for another TikTok video on this channel. I'm just playing, except I'm not. I'll do one before too long. Back on topic here. Apparently popular on TikTok right now. Smells kind of like Herba Pura, which I don't really like, but yeah, there it is. Hey, after that, Instant Crush for $83. So that one makes sense because it's cheap for a Mancera. Instant Crush, actually pretty good. Has a little bit of a similarity to Baccarat Rouge 540. Nice release, I'm not gonna argue that. And then another Lattafa, I don't know how to say that. Kaed, sorry. It is super cheap. Ooh, very high ratings on Fragrantica. Smells like Nuit DC Polaris. Now I'm getting interested. And then also some people saying that it smells like Calumet Arabian Oud. Maybe I'm gonna have to add this to the old cart. After that, Creed Aventus. Nothing to say about that. It's Creed Aventus. Then Lattafa Rogba. Interesting to see that one. Well, maybe not. $14. Dang, giving it away. And this is even the special Deschel one that comes with a little extra spray bottle in there. Smells similar to Scent Story 24 Gold. Has kind of a overly ambery, warm and sweet take on oud that if you spray way too much of it, it can be a little animalic, but it's very good for the quality. Number 2 is 1 million. So yeah, 1 million, 60 bones, $60. That's interesting. I actually wouldn't expect that, but it does show 1 million steady selling since the beginning of time. That fragrance still does really well. And number 1, Club de Nuit Intense from Armaf. Yeah, let us never ever doubt the power of Armaf. Club de Nuit Intense is super popular. The most popular Creed Aventus alternative or clone on the market, flexing on all the other competitors once again. Next, let's take a look at Fragrancebuy because that's the next one that I have pulled up here. little bit harder to get to the bestsellers here. You have to go to men's, you have to hit refined, then you have to sort by bestsellers. Number 10, Bentley Intense for men. And that one is just straight up 100% from you guys in the fragrance community. I don't doubt that a bit, because Bentley for Men Intense, that's the type of fragrance that gets talked about by people within the community as being an awesome cheap buy. But I would say your average Joe is not going to be going to a fragrance store and saying, hey, do you guys by chance have maybe, I don't know, fragrance made by Bentley? Oh, you do? Cool. Do you have an intense version of that? Perhaps one that smells of niche quality for a low price. Yeah, that doesn't happen. So it's you guys. After that, Versace Pour Homme. Kind of interesting to see that there. I like Versace Pour Homme a lot. I've worn that many times over the years. Nice, fresh, easy to wear, great spring summer fragrance, office safe. Good compliment puller. Not going to argue that. Interesting to see it there, though. Number 8, Citra Poisé. That makes sense. Mancera's most popular fragrance. Really good one. Price isn't bad there either, about $85. After that, Versace Eros. So Versace got 2 in the top 10 here. Interesting. Eros makes a little more sense. Eros is Versace's best-selling fragrance. You can see that on like Macy's and all these other websites. When you sort by bestsellers, it's pretty much always Versace's best. And then I see some Latafas, 3 Latafas in a row. So Latafa, very popular right now. Sucrat is first. That's an Acqua di Gio Profumo clone. Pretty good one also. Cheap, $21. And then Oud for Glory after that, which is an Oud for Greatness clone. That one is also good, but I would say my favorite Oud for Greatness clone is Afnan Supremacy in Oud. The issue there with some people is going to be that Supremacy in Oud is more expensive, and this one at $22 is cheaper, and you also get the kind of knockoff presentation where it looks a little bit like Oud for Greatness. Even though I think that the Afnan is better overall, this one is still a really good clone. And then Latafa Fakar right after that, which is a clone of YSL's Y Eau de Parfum. Also, once again, about $22, really cheap fragrances, but the quality in these is surprisingly good. In the top 3 now, we got Lalique White and Black. Really solid fragrance. Very good. Right about $45. Smells similar to Layton. Good amount of vanilla in there. It's sweet. Has a good spicy kick to it. Fantastic cool weather fragrance. So another nice one. Number 2, Club de Nuit Intense, man. Armaf. I would love to see how much money Armaf has made from releasing Club de Nuit Intense. Like, I'm legitimately curious how many millions of dollars Armaf has made from that fragrance. Number 1 is Detour Noir, all Haramain, Layton, once again. So you got White and Black at number 3 that smells similar to Layton but costs less. You have Club de Nuit Intense Man at number 2, smells like Aventus, but it costs less. And then number 1, Detour Noir, smells like Layton again, but it costs less. I do think Detour Noir is a surprisingly very good clone for the price because it's very cheap. I mean, to be fair, the presentation is trash, absolute garbage, but the fragrance is really good. So that's Fragrancebuy. Let's take a look at Fragrancenet, which is very different. So I'm going to men's cologne, sorting by top sellers, and yeah. Looking at this list, my guess is that if this is accurate, I don't know if it is, but the only way it can be, I should say, is if this is the top sellers list over the entirety of the length of time that Fragrancenet has been a website. Like going back to their inception to today, these are the 10 that have sold the most. That's the only way this makes sense, because there is no way that right now, at least in my opinion, these are the top 10 bestsellers, but this is what they have. Let's look. Number 10, Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue, the original. Light Blue Pour Homme, it changed things a lot, especially for Dolce & Gabbana. But, you know, I think the flankers that have come out after it, a lot of those are better than the original. I would take Oh Intense, I would take Forever, I would take Italian Love, I would probably even take Sun over that one. But I think that in terms of importance, that one's more important. Number 9, Calvin Klein Obsession. Yep, the original Obsession for men. That's what I'm saying. This cannot be accurate unless it's over the entirety. Obsession, huge at one point, really huge. Nowadays, I don't think too many people are wearing it. Although it is a Calvin Klein, so if you want to add that to your collection, shouldn't cost too much. Let's see what it's running for. Yeah, nothing. 4 ounce for $22. And then after that one, Burberry Touch. To be fair, Touch at one point in time was a big release. A lot of people wore it. Actually, I know friends of mine where that was their signature scent was Burberry Touch for a long time. It worked wonders for them. Nowadays, it's kind of forgotten. And for that matter, I hate to say it, but Burberry is almost forgotten. You know, they come out with Hero Eau de Parfum, but those don't really make a splash like a lot of the other bigger brands' fragrance releases do. Then Versace Man Eau Fraiche. Versace Man Eau Fraiche smells a little bit similar to Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue for women. So a little bit similar to that. Although I've said a number of times, to be fair, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue for women, a lot of guys wear that fragrance. Very fresh, tropical, easy to wear scent. Don't dislike it. Then we have Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette. That's not a surprise at all. Huge seller everywhere that has it. Followed up by Cool Water from Davidoff, which maybe its best days are behind it as far as how many people are wearing it, but it's a timeless fragrance. Of course, I'm gonna pick Green Irish Tweed over Cool Water pretty much 100 times out of 100. But if you don't have very much money to spend and you want something similar to Green Irish Tweed, Cool Water is a nice place to start. CK1 after that. CK1, when it came out, was everywhere, literally everywhere. Everybody had it, guys, girls, didn't matter. Massive release for Calvin Klein. Not as many people wearing CK1 anymore. CK1 is basically one of those fragrances that you expect to find at TJ Maxx for $15 or something, but it is a classic. Acqua di Gio, number 3. Can't argue that. Acqua di Gio, best-selling men's fragrance of all time. My signature scent for a long time. Still love it. Number 2, Versace Dylan Blue, which is kind of a surprise because Versace Dylan Blue being at number 2 on the top sellers means that it is the best-selling men's blue fragrance, period, at Fragrancenet. Now, when you think about that, you may say, how's that possible? Bigger than all the Ys, bigger than all the Sauvages? What gives? My best guess would be that Versace Dylan Blue you can get for a pretty good discount from discounters as compared to the retail price. But Dior Sauvage and the Y fragrances don't really get those at a big, steep discount from Fragrancenet. So it's just more attractive to pick up Dylan Blue from there. Whereas Sauvage or something else, maybe you look at the price and you go, heck with it. I'll just go to my freaking local Macy's or whatever and pick it up there and just walk out the door with it after I buy it instead of having to wait for it to be shipped. That would be my guess. Number 1 is Eros. Versace Eros. So that means on Fragrancenet that there are 3 fragrances from Versace in the top 10. So apparently Versace's killing it, dude. What's Eros going for on Fragrancenet right now? Yeah, it's going for a pretty good discount, $44 for a 50 mil. So again, part of that could just be that Versace gets marked off more than other, if you want to call them high-end designer houses. When I say that, I mean the designer houses that you think of automatically when you say designer fragrances. Because most people don't think, Dunhill or Burberry or any of those other houses that get marked off heavily. People, when they think, nicer designer fragrances, they think Dior, they think Chanel, they think YSL, maybe even Giorgio Armani, stuff like that. And Versace is kind of close to those houses for most people. And so you can get those Versace fragrances marked off heavily, whereas those other brands that are maybe in the same league with Versace, you don't get them marked off quite as much. And Eros is also super popular. It's a big compliment puller, good performance, good versatility, all that stuff. So not a huge surprise to see it at number 1, but definitely a different top 10 than the other sites we looked at. Also, no Club de Nuit in the top 10? No. It is at number 11, 12, 13, 14, number 15. Number 15. That is surprising. And so, guys, those are the top 10 bestsellers at 3 of the biggest fragrance discounters in the US right now. Technically, Fragrancebuy is in Canada, but they ship to the US or whatever. Interesting. Clone fragrances, really big at a couple of these stores, and then Fragrancenet, not quite as much. Maybe Fragrancenet needs to step up their clone stuff. I can tell you personally, the one that I buy the most from as far as like those clone fragrances go is Fragrancebuy, but I did see those few that Jomashop had that I haven't seen before, so maybe I'll check them out too now. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for me. Let me know if you're surprised about any of this or if you're just like, oh yeah, I already knew that, man. I check those every day. I keep up with the trends, bro. Let me know. Thank you for hanging with me here until the end. Thank you for your support, guys. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.